Hi, and welcome to a new video of this MOOC. In this video, we are going to learn about Angular modules. As you probably know, Angular applications are modular, and this is possible thanks to the ng module system. This way, in each application, you have at least one module that is the root module of your application, and that is called application module. But you can use any other modules that, as we will see before, are offered by Angular, and of course you can also create your own modules. This is very useful for organizing your application when it starts growing in size and you want to divide the different features or different parts of your application, encapsulating them in modules. An Angular module is just a class with the ng module decorator in which you have to configure several things for the module. As you can see in this example, you have several parameters: declarations, imports, providers, and Bootstrap. Declarations is a set of components that belong to the specific module. Imports indicates to Angular the list of modules that you want to use inside this module. On the other hand, providers indicates to this module the list of services that you need to use. And finally, the Bootstrap array indicates the components you want to automatically bootstrap when launching or when starting this module. As I said before, using ng module system of Angular, you can divide your application separating features in modules. There are a set of modules that are provided by Angular, but you can create also your own feature modules. In order to use a module of one of these types, you have to include it in the root module in the way you can see in this example. Firstly, you have to import the module. So imagine you have a feature module that is called my module. You have to import the file from the specific folder, and then you have to include the module in the import list of the root module in this case, or in the module you want to use your own module. Okay, the main Angular feature modules that are offered by default are the ones you can see in this table. The browser module is included by default in the application module because it's needed when you want to use your application from a web browser. Then you have the common module that includes ng if and ng-for, the force module that you have to import in order to use ng model, for instance, and other modules that you can use for performing routine, request to do HTTP service, and so on. If you want to create your own module in order to encapsulate features of your application, you have to use the command line interface tools of Angular. And using this command, ng generate module, and the name of the module, Angular will create a folder called my module with a new module file inside. And this module will have the format you can see in this example. Then, in order to create components inside this module, encapsulating them inside this module, you have to include the path of the module when generating the component. This will, of course, create the needed files for the new component inside the module folder and will modify the specific module code, including the importation of the new component and the declaration of it in the decorator of the module. If you want to use components defined in a specific module outside of this module, you have to export them in the decorator of the module. So for instance, if we have created this my new component inside this module and we have to, or we need to use this component outside this module, we have to include it in a new property of the decorator that is called export. This way, we can, for instance, in the root module, we can import the module and use start using this specific component. Okay, so that's all for the modules, for this modules video. Now you know how to encapsulate different features of your application using the ng module system that Angular provides. Bye, and see you in the next video.